What's going on, guys? I'm Venom2Million, and this is an idea that I've had for a very long time, and I've mentioned a little bit of it on my channel, but now I'm going to go into full detail. This is what should happen after the Infinity War in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is what I would do if I was in control. If I could do anything that I wanted to, this is what I would do. This is what should happen. If they can do it, they should do it, and then give me millions of dollars for credit. Anywho, this is what I would do. Let me paint the picture. Infinity War happens. This is Thanos coming to Earth to get that final stone. He's doing it himself. He's coming. And the Guardians know it, and Avengers know it. All of this is going on. They're like, we're going to stop him. He comes. They're fighting him. He has his army. The Avengers are fighting. The Guardians of the Galaxy are fighting. And the people are fighting. People are fighting the army. What? After the Infinity War, Thanos is defeated, he loses, and then the conversation shifts. Okay, guess what? We beat Thanos. That's great. That's so good. But wait a minute, millions of people died because of Thanos coming. And now we have people that were fighting the army. Wait a minute. How are people fighting the army? Because these people have these abilities. Wait, where are these people with abilities coming from? These people have been living amongst normal society, normal civilization for thousands of years. These people are a form of evolved humans. They have a different gene, a mutated gene, if you will. They are mutants. Whoa. There are beings that live on this planet that have the form of humans, but they are more powerful than humans. They have abilities in which they can and you die, and this is not just a contained amount of people. This is a large group of people. They have been living amongst us. These mutants, these people have the capability to do whatever they want. They are stronger than normal humans. They are faster than normal humans and potentially smarter than normal humans. This is terrifying. Not only do we have to deal with these superheroes that are creating these villains, because if it wasn't for these superheroes, would Thanos have came? Would Loki had came? Would all of these other things had happened within our world? But now we have our own people that are not our own people. People are terrified. People are upset because they have lost millions of people because of these people existing, these heroes, these mutants. This is an issue, and something needs to happen. Now we have my man Norman be the front runner of this conversation. He has had it. He is entirely upset. He has been affected because of all of these things happening. Maybe his son died, maybe his wife died, maybe his father died. Maybe something has happened to him in which he cannot take it anymore, and he becomes the face for this new piece of legislation that is not the Sokovia Accord. It is something like it, but a lot bigger than this, because the Sokovia Accord only talked about, it specified a handful of people, but we are not talking about a handful of people anymore. We are talking about a piece of the population that has the capability to destroy any other person that they want, that does not have equal abilities as them. This is terrifying to the public. The public, they're upset. They are upset. They are scared because things have been happening back to back, and this is an issue. Norman Osborn is the front runner for this. The solution, number one, registration. All beings that have supernatural or superhuman abilities must be registered. Number two, all beings that have these abilities need to be on watch, because it is unfair for those without these abilities to live with these people with these abilities and not feel safe. The opposing side, wait a minute, but you're telling me that because I was born with these abilities that I'm not a human, that I can't live where I want to live, that I can't do what I want to do? We have this conversation. Both sides have equal ideas. Both sides are right and wrong, but that is the conversation that happens. That shifts the that is the conflict that happens within the next phase. The story progresses within the entire MCU, and Norman Osborn is the front runner of this. Those that do not register, they will be rounded up. Norman Osborn puts together his own team of superhuman people and they are rounding up people. He has his own organization called Sword. He's taken over S.H.I.E.L.D. He has his own organization called Sword, and they're rounding up these individuals. Those that do not comply will be arrested. Norman Osborn is the face for this. Norman Osborn is the villain that not only is sympathetic, but we understand, we empathize with him, and he should be very cool and suave and straight to the point. He doesn't need to be witty. He is, but he doesn't need to be. He'll just straight up, listen, this is what's going to happen because it is. And I'm sorry it offends you. I'm sorry it makes you angry, but this is what's going to happen, okay? And that's what should happen. Norman Osborn should be the face. The mutants should be the mutants and the superheroes should be the next conflict that happens, the conversation that happens. Norman Osborn isn't a bad guy. He is convinced that he is doing what is right. That's what it should be. We always talk about these Marvel films and having awful villains is because they are just, I'm the bad guy. Why? Because I'm the bad guy. It's like, yo, that's not how people don't just wake up and say, I'm bad. I'm going to be bad today. No, that's it. They're not convinced that what they're doing is bad. They are stuck in their ways. They understand what they understand. They have their own perspective and they embody that with their actions, with what they say. That's what makes a good villain, and that's who Norman Osborn should be, and this is what the next phase should be. Norman Osborn's team versus the Avengers, versus the whomever else. And once Norman Osborn is defeated, or if he may not be defeated, he does not need to be defeated for this story to progress. They could do it differently, and he wins. That is when he has that next step of becoming the Goblin, or we learn something about him, and he has a direct correlation with Peter. But just the bare bones for the next phase: mutants, conversation about superhuman people. Norman Osborn. That's what I would do if I was in control. That's what Marvel should do. Really briefly, I want to touch on just the Fox deal thing. People are like, wait a minute, is Fox, in Marvel, are you talking? Are you talking? And Kevin Feige's like, no, we're not doing that. And he said something about an iceberg. I wouldn't compare it to being an iceberg or something, I don't know, but it's the same way it's always been. What's so interesting to me about that statement is that when Marvel and Sony were talking, they had the mutual understanding and agreement that if they were ever asked about it, that they would deny it. Deny until a deal is actually reached. So I would think that, especially with us seeing the way that their films are going, Logan being the final Hugh Jackman film of him playing Wolverine, the X-Men Apocalypse film kind of setting up this different timeline, us seeing these different characters come into fruition, these different actors playing characters come. I think that this is all a part of this natural progression. I think a deal is going to be made in which the mutants, in which the X-Men properties and the Fantastic Four properties will become a part of the MCU, and that the deal will be extremely similar to Sony, because at the end of the day, these companies are about making money, and they know that they will make a lot more money if they are dealing with Marvel, because the fans want Marvel, and Marvel makes money. Marvel is a cash cow. Fox wants cash. This is what they would do. This is what they should do. This is what I think they will do. This is the next step for the MCU. What do you guys think? Let me know in that comment section below. If this is a compelling idea, share it around with all of your friends. Share it around with some people. Who knows? Maybe Marvel can do this and give me millions of dollars. That would be great. Just come on, help me out. I'm a college student. I'm struggling, but I digress. I'm Tatum, telling you that all of my social networks are down below. I can see that you have something you want to say in the comment section below, so you can put it there and I'll be down there. We can have a conversation down below in the comment section down below. Tatum, I gotta go. Peace. Peace. Have a good one. Peace. Subscribe if you know.
Venom 2 million.